Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale. If you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure.
You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nut.
So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. We're interrupting all of your request months just for today, because when you see this, it's going to be my birthday. In order to celebrate, I wanted to get a really special beer that I've heard great things about, but I've never actually tried, which is this one. As you can see, Mikkeller Beer Geek Breakfast. Oatmeal Stout brewed with coffee, 7.5% ABV, and looks like I don't know if that's what he looks like or if that's just whatever, but alright, that is a nice looking stout. That is one of the darkest heads I've ever seen on a beer. Look how brown that is. It's almost as brown as the bottle. And it is like pure, like whipped cream. Just like so creamy and frothy. The color is obviously pitch black. No light through it at all. I could smell it as soon as I popped the cap. I wouldn't say cork, but it was a cap. It smells like a bigger beer than it is. I mean, only 7.5%. It kind of smells like a Southern Tier Blackwater or any of those big imperial stouts. I definitely get like the oatmeal kind of quality in there. Has that kind of, that sweet, almost dairy kind of scent that a lot of oatmeal stouts have. I get like bitter dark chocolate. I really don't get any coffee in the nose though. You know, like a hint. It's kind of more of like a iced coffee, like a sweeter, you know, kind of coffee instead of any kind of deeply roasted French roast or anything like that. So hopefully it'll be in the palate. Cheers. Well, I mean, I didn't really get coffee per se until like just now, right in the aftertaste. The whole time it's just like a, not quite an imperial, but a bigger than average oatmeal stout. Just like that. It's kind of sweet, gentle sweetness up front, followed by like a intense, like a French roast coffee bitterness. Not like the coffee flavor per se. A little bit of dark chocolate in there, kind of balance the, kind of that transition between the sweetness and the roasty bitterness. Yeah, I really like what he's doing with the oatmeal here. It does kind of remind me a lot of like Sam Smith's oatmeal stout or Rogue Shakespeare stout. Almost identical actually. This actually seems, there's a flyer, mosquito, sorry. This seems a little more robust than both of those beers. I am a little disappointed though that the coffee's not more pronounced, because to me they could have just called it, you know, Beer Geek Oatmeal Stout, and it would have been just the same. The coffee just, it shows up like way in the aftertaste, where there's like an actual coffee taste. It's a, you know, it's an interesting combination of like that, you know, lighter, you know, kind of dry bitterness, and just kind of a light sweetness, like I said with the nose, like an iced coffee. Very smooth. Very smooth, nice, soft, gentle mouthfeel. It's just glides across the tongue. It doesn't really coat your whole mouth like the way like a huge Russian imperial stout might. But it has like it's a nice full feeling. It's kind of thick. It's very soft and gentle, very comfortable in the mouth. Going down very smooth. Doesn't seem to be super highly carbonated, which, you know, is fine, I guess. Yeah, so far so good. I got plenty of beer and time to kill, so I'm going to sip on this and we'll come back with my final thoughts. Alright, final thoughts and grades for Mikkeller Beer Geek Breakfast. You know, I went into this beer thinking I was going to absolutely love it. And while I didn't, you know, I don't hate it obviously, but I didn't really love it. I just plain liked it. It doesn't really do anything, you know, I guess because of Mikkeller. I've never had a Mikkeller beer before. You know, he's got a reputation of just being mind-blowing or just like eccentric and different. This beer doesn't really do anything different than Sam Smith's Oatmeal Stout or like even a Southern Tier Java. Although it's much more of just like a plain old oatmeal stout than a coffee stout. It's just actually I'm subtracting a point or two for that because, you know, they have a picture of coffee beans in the bottle. They made a point of saying it's brewed with coffee. I get like coffee bitterness, but I don't really get coffee taste. Like there's a slight kind of iced coffee sweetness in there, but otherwise, I mean, like, compared to like a Southern Tier Java or the Keegan-Ale's Joe Mama's Stout, those were freaking coffee beers. This is a really good oatmeal stout though. You know, I might even put it on par with Sam Smith's or Rogue Shakespeare, like I mentioned before. You know, so the palate, one of my beefs with it is that the palate kind of homogenized the more I drank on. Like the sweetness got a little more bitter. The bitterness got a little more sweet. So they just kind of homogenized. That dark chocolate flavor seemed to, you know, kind of disappear. But that being said, it's still really smooth, very, very smooth. It's comfortable in the mouth, very soft. It's thinner than you think. Like, you know, looking at this, you think this is like motor oil, but it's not. It's a little bit bigger than a Guinness, but not by a whole lot. Real easy on your system, only 7.5%. Drinking this whole bottle, it's like nothing to me. So, yeah, I think this is a very good beer. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. You know, not quite up there with the 9s and the 10s, but, you know, definitely a very good beer. Really nothing wrong with it at all. Nice and tasty. If you like oatmeal stouts, you're going to like this. Another beef with this beer is that this was $13 just for this one bottle. And, you know, I don't really think it quite lives up to that because I could have gotten like two Southern Tier Blackwater series for the same price as this one bottle. So, but it's an import, so, you know. Yeah, so that does it for this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. If you want to get me a birthday present, go on my t-shirt website and buy a t-shirt. Because then you get something for yourself, and you put a couple bucks in my pocket too. So, you know what I'm saying. Thanks for watching this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.